guys, welcome back. So, I'm here with another guitar, and let me just turn this up so you can see. And this is a familiar one on the channel. It is a Tease, and it is the SBH-E series. So it's the brand new SBH-E series from Tease. It is a familiar style guitar, telly style guitar, and it's a beautiful color. This is their Envy, I believe. Blue with Envy. It's sort of, I guess, a familiar color to all, right? This is a Fenderish color. I'm not going to mention the color because I don't know if there's any secret to it or whatever, but it's a bluish green, right? Or a silverish blue. I'm colorblind. And it has a metallic finish to it, and it's a beautiful color. Hey, listen, I'll just come out and say it. It's very Lake Placid blue-like, right? Very Lake Placid blue. I don't know how you can see that metallic finish on it, but it's gorgeous. And let's talk about the guitar a little bit. So it has a full thickness body, unlike some of the Squier Affinities. And that's kind of where this thing is priced in terms of the Squier line. It's priced comparably with a Squier Affinity. This currently goes for, on the Tease website, $269.95, I believe. That's the introductory price that they're having on Tease right now. Free shipping. And it has a full thickness body, as I mentioned, a basswood body, a maple fretboard, as you can see, right? And it's a nice satin finish, but it has a slight gloss to it. Very, very ever so slightly gloss. I wouldn't say it's unfinished. Whereas the fretboard is sort of an unfinished maple fretboard, which is, I really like it because you can dig in. I don't like glossy fretboards that you really struggle to stay on the frets without slipping. This is a nice unfinished maple fretboard. What else do we have here? Contoured heel on the neck, as you can see, which is beautiful. Beautifully done. Here you go. You can see that. I really like that. And I like this extra carve here on the back of the body, in addition to the belly cut. It's a beautiful contour over here as well. So it really has some nice lines. As you can see here, it is a string through. The neck was set in perfectly. No spacing, no gap for business cards to shove in there. So the neck was set into the body beautifully. No stress cracks in the paint like some budget guitars are notorious for, and that without mentioning any names. Really like the heel joint and the sculpturing around there. What else? Let's see here. Just looking here to see if there's anything I'm missing. The neck, the density of the neck, it's a C-shaped neck. Not a super thin neck, not a thick neck. Just a beautiful feel to it, in my opinion. It's the right depth on this neck. So it is a C neck, but it's not a baseball bat neck. I really like it. It's extremely comfortable, and it's very, very smooth up and down. Pickups, which are real important, right? So these are Alnico pickups on this guitar. Okay, so you have a rail humbucker at the bridge, and I'll go through the sounds in a minute. And you have the old lipstick style single coil at the neck. But these are great, great pickups. They're Alnico 5s, and they sound great. Full-size CTS pots in this guitar, 500 pots. An orange pad, 047 orange pad caps in the guts as well. A bone nut on the guitar. 18-to-1 gear ratio locking tuners on this one, as you can see there. So this thing is loaded with upgraded features on this particular model. A 3-way switch with Gavit wiring. Great feeling switch, very, very Not flimsy, not chintzy like some of the other guitars. It's a really solid feeling switch on the guitar, as are these knobs, which are great as well. Barrel string trees on the guitar, if you can see that. So they're not the cheapo El Cheapo string trees. Stainless steel frets. It keeps going on and on, right? With rounded fret ends. So Phil McKnight would be proud of this guitar, as I always say, because there's no sharp fret ends up and down the neck. And that's important when you're just starting out as well, or any player for that matter. No one wants to shred their hands or fingers or have an unpleasant experience when they're playing their guitar, right? So that's really important. 12-inch radius, so it's a flat neck, 12-inch radius, which is nice for those of you that want to shred a little bit, if you have any intention on doing that. Colors. So this comes in at the moment, and Torsten can correct me if I'm wrong, but without these special designations that Tease has, they have some cool names for each of these guitars depending upon the color. It comes in a black finish with a white pickguard and a black finish with, I believe, a black pickguard. This blue, which is like a Lake Placid blue, as I mentioned, and the matching headstock, which is kind of cool. A creamsicle-ish type color. A green, they think they call that Envy, right? No surprise there. And their classic purple with, the purple burst type color that they have. But I believe I'm covering most of the colors that this comes in. They're all at $269.95, which is a great price for this guitar. And it includes, as always, a Tease gig bag with the guitar. Now this is, it's not a fully padded gig bag. You're not going to really use this if you're doing some heavy-duty transport of the guitar, but it's enough to protect it if you're moving from point A to point B and keeping the dust off the guitar. So it's a nice touch getting that thrown in. They also give, obviously, the tools needed for the adjustment of the truss rod on the neck. The other thing that's real important with this is that Torsten's now including his own personal business card in here. And this company's really cool for those of you that aren't familiar with Tease. You can call the number on here, and there's a pretty good chance you're actually going to get the owner on the phone. So he's got a vested interest in making the the folks pretty happy and pretty confident that they're going to get support when they buy one of these instruments, which is very rare. If not, in fact, it might be unheard of. I don't know of any other companies really that I can call and I get the owner on the phone immediately. So it's really interesting. The setup of this guitar, you can also pay extra for a professional setup, but out of the box, it's great. I mean, look at the string height, if you can see, on this guitar. It's about as low as physically possible. Now, I have to admit, right, I'm going to give you the good and the bad like I always do. There is a little bit of buzzing on these strings, so I have to take the action up a slight bit. But it's a very easy thing to do, obviously. But I don't know how well you can hear this or not, but probably can't hear it much. But on certain strings, there is a slight, very ever so slight buzzing. Now, I may not even touch this, to be honest with you, because I like the height, the string height, so much that I don't even want to screw around with it. And I may just, it'll play out probably over time. I may just keep it at this. But, I mean, I've never seen action this low on a guitar without fretting out or having any major issues with, dead frets or issues that you get with a lot of these inexpensive guitars. There's not a dead fret on this guitar. The stainless steel frets are great. Like I said, they're rounded. The action is low. It's just set up beautifully outside of the box. So, very rare do you get a budget guitar that you don't have to bring to somebody to fix something. Now, I'm not saying everyone is going to be like that, right? But this one is. And it wasn't, a specially picked up guitar. This is one that was right out of the Tease factory. So, what else do we have? The tuners. So far, so good. They seem to be decent tuners on this guitar. They're locking tuners. It holds tune. Now, it's going to go out a little bit because these are brand new strings. I just unboxed it. But the tuners, from previous Tease guitars that I've had and this one, they're the same. They're very, very reliable, good quality tuners that Tease uses. Weight. This guitar is 7.8 pounds, so it's light, not a heavy boat anchor. Trying to think if there's anything I missed. I think I covered just about everything with respect to the guitar itself. These are made in China. Again, Torsten takes the time to go over these things pretty much himself to make sure he's not sending out any duds or any lemons. Now, occasionally, can't help it with climate changes and this time of year being the winter. You might get something that has a little bit of glitch or whatever, but you can do a webcam with Tease. He will get on, or someone from Tease will get on the webcam and walk you through how to remedy the issue that you're having, which is really cool in and of itself. I mean, the kind of support you get is important, right, these days, especially with some of these no-name companies that are on Amazon. You're getting what appears to be a great deal from a dollar and cents standpoint, but if you have an issue, good luck. You're going to have to just return it. Now, Amazon's easy with the return policy, but face it, it's a pain in the neck. No one wants to go back and forth. By the time you have an instrument that's playable, it could be weeks. So service and support are critical, especially at this price point. Now, with the price point, so now we're competing with basically Fesley and Squier at this price point, as well as Donner, right, with their higher end lines. And I've had Donners, I haven't had Fesley. So I can tell you this versus a Squier and a Donner. This guitar you're getting much more for the penny than you are with either one of those brands. The fact that you're getting around the same price, locking tuners, the fact that you're getting CTS pots, the fact that you're getting stainless steel frets, rounded fret ends, upgraded wiring on the internals on the guitar, full-size body, right, as opposed to the Squier Affinity, Alnico pickups. There's just a host of things that you bone nut, right? You're not getting these on a lot of these other guitars. So right out of the chute, you're getting a higher quality instrument. And the fact that you're getting extremely good service and support is real important. So I'm giving it a thumbs up, right, in terms of value for folks like myself who are hobbyists, home players, But I mean, even if you are a playing out musician and want something without bringing your, $2,000 custom shop telly or another guitar with you at a reasonable price that has playability right out of the box and good quality components, this is certainly something that you'll bring even if you're playing out somewhere. So it's a great guitar. Let me talk about the sounds that you can hear now. So right now, I'll just show you what the pickups sound like, and there's no push-pulls on here. This is not a coil tap instrument. So let's just talk about the neck pickup first, clean. Okay, we'll just play some basic stuff clean. Both pickups, the single coil as well as the humbucker. And now the humbucker, you heard that volume increase, right? Nice chime. It's got a beautiful ring and a beautiful chime to it out of this. I really love this rail humbucker. It almost sounds like a Rickenbacker. I mean, it's a beautiful chime. And you're getting a lot of tonal variance between all three settings. Really, really great tones in my opinion. Now, let's put on a little dirt. Let me see here. Now we got both pickups. Humbucker. A lot of thickness, a lot of grit and grime to it. It's a nice sounding pickup. And we'll play some single notes just so you hear what it sounds like in all three positions. Yeah, I mean, stock pickups, no complaints. I mean, very rarely do you get a budget instrument where I think you could be happy with what you got without saying, how am I going to mod this right out of the box? I mean, there are always going to be some that want certain sounds and a chasing tone and want to replace this, this, and this. But you don't have to replace the tuners. They're locking tuners. You don't have to replace the nut. You already have a bone nut. You don't have to replace the pots initially. These are CTS pots on the guitar, and has, you know, decent wiring under the hood. You don't have to, certainly don't have to replace the bridge. I mean, this is a very, very secure, firm, decently intonated bridge. You don't have to replace the pickups, for crying out loud, because they're Alnico pickups. And you've got a nice, thick humbucker at the bridge, and that cleaner lipstick style pickup at the neck, so you can get all sorts of tonal varieties on the guitar. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great value. That's my opinion. The only gripe that I have personally, and it's been my gripe for a while here, but it's probably just me, is I would put a different headstock personally on this guitar. I know the Strat has this, the Strat style guitar that Tease has, and I know to reduce and keep costs down, you probably want to use a similar neck and a similar headstock, but I would put a different shaped headstock on this Tele. I'm not keen on a Strat style headstock on a Telecaster. Now, there are Frankenstein guitars out there that have them. Fender's made them. Some people love them. That's just me. But other than that, I mean, I really can't find too many things to gripe about at the price point with this guitar. I mean, like I mentioned before, look at some of the usual suspects: Donner, Squire, Fesley. They may have similar guitars at this price point. I will guarantee you that they don't have these upgraded features if you go down a list that this guitar has, nor do you have Torsten hanging out at the telephone at these companies waiting to take care of an issue if you've got one. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is by no means a tease. It's reality. Huh? Do you like that one? But in any event, if you have any questions regarding this, put them in the comments. If you like these videos, please subscribe. And as always, until the next one, be well. See you soon. Take care.